This is the Mind of the Meanie. Here are your hosts, the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard.
Peace world and welcome to the Mind of the Meanie, your weekly peek into the world according to former WWE superstar and ECW original, the Blue Meanie. We'll cover wrestling, music, movies, sports, and lots of useless knowledge, all contained in the Mind of the Meanie. I'm your tour guide, Adam Barnard, and he is the Blue Meanie. Meanie, what's on your mind?
I think you know what's on my mind.
I sure do. I sure do, sir. I believe, if I recall correctly, I believe it would be a question.
And what would that be?
Are you ready to ask Meanie?
I would love to. It's time to ask Meanie anything. Ask me something.
I can't remember what regular air smells like.
Don't forget to tweet us your questions every single week so we can ask them on the show. Now, generally, guys, as you know, if you longtime listeners of the show are aware, and you listening now because you are a longtime listener, we do a segment at the end of every show where we ask Meanie your questions, and we ask them live on the show here. But this week, we're giving you another full episode of Ask Meanie Anything. Meanie, how the hell are you, pal? Good to see you.
Good. I got my seltzer all ready here. Yeah. I'm ready to rock. Full disclosure, I cheated a little bit. I kind of started a little bit early, so because I was parched. I was a little parched. Yeah. I need a little tingle in my throat.
A little seltzer kiss, if you will.
Yes.
And don't forget, before we get started here, the Pod Squad is here tonight. Shout out to the Pod Squad hopping and popping in the group chat tonight. Patreon.com. You can see right up here as my green screen gets all funky. Patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Sign up today. Tiers start at just $10 a month, and you get priority for all your questions when you ask us on Ask Meanie. So, what you drinking on there, Meanie?
I got another favorite. Shop. We got, if you're not from Philly, or we have a ShopRite, and they got their own brand called Bowl and Basket.
Hell yes.
Mango. I got the mango seltzer.
There we go. And today I have the Old Faithful. I have my cheap shit, the knockoff sparkling ices from Aldi. It's the pink grapefruit. I'll have you know, sir, I've finally located the place where I can get the cheap shit from the vending machine that I used to do back in our Pittsburgh days, and I'm hopeful to stock up on them. Hopefully going to stock up on them for our shows going forward so we can bring back some goodness from the past. But we're going to crack this right now in 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah. God, that grapefruit bucking slaps, bro. Pinkies up. Oh, yeah. Such good shit.
Yeah, sorry I cheated, but
man, it's all right. We forgive you, sir. All right, our first question tonight comes from Andy Schlichter from the Pod Squad. What it is, man. Wants to know the most interesting or coolest non-wrestling thing you have seen backstage at a show.
Oof. Most interesting, coolest non-wrestling thing I've seen at a show. At a wrestling show? Does it a non-wrestling show?
Or any show in general?
Oh, man. That's a good question. I've been to many concerts and stuff like that. Been backstage. Okay, here's a story. Everybody knows, I'm friends with Billy Corgan, Smashing Pumpkins. And Pumpkins were touring with Marilyn Manson.
Oh, man.
And we're hanging out in Billy's dressing room, just getting ready for a show. And we're just sitting there. And Mrs. Meanie goes and uses the bathroom. And as we're sitting there, like Marilyn Manson walks into the room. And I'm just like, this is kind of cool. This is interesting. And he's like holding court. And he's just like, this, that, just joking around, And Mrs. Meanie comes out of the bathroom and she's a Manson fan. And she's like, she hadn't noticed yet, but I'm kind of looking at her. I'm doing the, like not, and she notices, he's there. She's like, oh, okay. But like Billy's like, oh, this is it was me and Robert Stone from WWE backstage. And he goes, these are my wrestling fans. He's like, well, these are professional wrestlers. And he goes, well, they don't look like unprofessional wrestlers. Or he had some kind of funny but he was just like cool, just holding court and talking about different things. And you're just like, it's like a huge stream of consciousness, right? So we go out and we watch the show. And we come back after the show, you hang out for a little bit until, they're ready. They cool down for a second. And go into Billy's room, and I'm going there. There's just this giant trophy on his table. I'm like, Billy, what's this gimmick? He's like, I don't know, man. I was just sitting here. Manson walked in with the trophy, put it on the table, went, you win, and walked out. So that was pretty cool. Just what the fuck? Just random cool stuff.
Oh my god!
Just I've been backstage at like Ozfest and like stood a couple feet from like Ozzy and stuff like that. Not being a creep or anything, but hanging out and just trying to geek out and stuff like that. But one of the coolest, I'll throw in the wrestling thing, is just being at the Anaheim Pond, and that's like when all the celebrities come out. And, I'm getting dressed, and I'm about to go do a photo shoot for THQ for one of the, I think the first SmackDown game. And Owen Hart walks by and goes, "Hey, Nicolas Cage is around the corner." I went, "What?" So I go walk around the corner, and there's Nicolas Cage and his son, and introduces me. I go, "Oh, hi, sir." He goes, "Hey, how you doing?" And introduced me to his. He goes to this one. "Oh, this is the Blue Meanie." I was like, "This is weird." And I was like, he either knows my name or he just read my shirt. I don't know. Then you walk away, and then a couple feet there's actor Beau Bridges and his family, and you're taking photos with them, and then you walk around, and then you're like, "Oh man, let me go get something to drink." And you go over there. If TV didn't really have catering, but they had like a thing for like coffee or water, soda, or whatever. And you walk over, and you're making the coffee, and this big fucking jack dude, and I thought he's like a local wrestler, go for a try. I was like, "Hey man, what's up?" He goes, "Hey man, how you doing?" And then a couple months later, I go to the movies and go to see The Green Mile, and it's fucking Michael Clark Duncan or Michael Clark Duncan. I can't think of his.
What?
Yeah, big dude. "I'm tired, boss."
What?
That guy. Yeah, he was just hanging out backstage.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's crazy.
Really cool shit, just.
That is insane, man.
Yeah, those are wrestling things, but like backstage at concerts, Marilyn Manson just hanging out, I fucking met Bam Margera backstage at Slayer.
Yeah.
There's off the top of my head, that's the first things I can think of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really good question.
We appreciate that, Schlichter. Thank you so much for sending that in. Let's go to our next question here. Oh, it's our friend Carlo Carlson, who does our great Photoshops each and every week. He says, hey, yes. Blue and Goob. What up, dude? I have a question. Man. I have a question for you two. If you two could team up for a dance-off, who would you challenge for a quality boogie? Always love the show. Keep them coming. Good question, man. I don't know.
I would have to say, oh my God, what's his name? Alex Wright.
Yeah.
And Norman Smiley.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those two do the dancing. They did the dancing gimmick, and WCW.
Yep.
So why not? Norman had the big wiggle, and Alex Wright, had the techno dancing.
Yep.
I think you and I could be a formidable team against those two.
I think so.
What do you think?
I'm with you on that one. I'm thinking Alex Wright. I'm thinking Norman Smiling. I'm also thinking Otis, just to get the worm in there. I think that's probably a good idea.
Otis, and maybe Disco Inferno.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Disco Fever. Disco Fever. Disco Fever. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, throw him in there. I would say the only other person I think I would add would be Otis, because I think the worm is important. And if it's just him doing the worm while we're all dance battling. Oh yeah. One of the nicest freaking guys I've ever met in my life too.
Great guy.
I've had a chance
to hang out with him for a little bit.
Yeah.
I was in excuse me. I was in Florida for a vacation and was visiting Steve Cutler, who was at the time was Steve Macklin Steve Macklin, who was Steve Cutler in NXT, and hanging out one afternoon, and Otis came by and hung out, and we just sat around and bullshit. He's such a good dude, down to earth dude. We interact here and there on social media, but yeah. Definitely do a dance off with him, man. Yeah, he's doing big guys. He's doing big guys, right?
I've had the opportunity to interview him twice during the press events at SummerSlam and at the Rumble, and I got to bring him and Chad Gable some Wawa coffee the second time around, and I'm pretty sure they got them through the Rumble there. So we love us some Otis here at Mind of the Meanie.
Yes.
Let's see. Next question here. Matt from Dover wants to know thoughts on Mike Tyson having to delay his fight with Jake Paul due to his ulcer.
It sucks because I want to say it.
Yeah.
But then I had friends who were going, that fight's never going to happen. They're like, I forget what the reasoning was, but I have a friend who properly said, "Oh, that fight's never going to happen." But dude, I definitely would have loved to have seen it. I guess apparently he was, on a flight. Mike Tyson was. He was on a flight and was having discomfort, and then I guess they figured. I'm just learning now from you that it was an ulcer. So I've never had an ulcer, and nor do I want one.
Yep.
But I assume they're pretty serious. So, whatchamacallit? Yeah, that sucks. That's something I definitely want to see, because Tyson still looks great.
Yeah.
He's still got the speed. People are like doing those comparison things of, Paul doing his workout, and then, you see Tyson doing, and Tyson's so fast.
Yeah.
So fast. It's amazing. But that sucks. That sucks that postponed. Mm-hmm. Now that's the thing. They didn't say canceled.
It's just postponed.
Postponed. So hang on to your ticket stubs if you're going to it. But hopefully it does. Hopefully they reschedule it soon. I mean,
yeah,
they're down in Jerry World, where the Cowboys play, and then once that football season starts, it's going to be hard to schedule something. Well, you could do it after the playoffs. Not like Dallas is making the playoffs. So
they're fucking not going to the playoffs. Fuck the Cowboys.
But sorry to our Dallas fans listening. But yeah, that definitely sucks. So
Lane Jaffe wants to know who had the better gambling career, Pete Rose or Shohei Ohtani?
I'd say Shohei, because he's still playing, right?
Still in the league.
And that's the thing. I think if Pete Rose would just fucking came clean,
yeah,
I think it would have just kind of blown over. Just if they got you dead to rights,
yeah,
and you deny it, you're just gonna make the punishment worse. if you get pulled over for speeding and you try to say, "Oh, I wasn't speeding," guy's got a fucking radar gun.
Yeah.
If you go, "Hey, officer, sorry, I was speeding. I didn't realize how fast I was going. Sorry." They might go, "Well, okay, I'll let you off with a warning this time." But watch your speed.
Yeah. I still think Ohtani. I still think Ohtani was the guy who was gambling. I still do.
Oh yeah.
Like there's. I'm sorry. That's like international federal fucking crimes to be taking that kind of cash from somebody, man. Like, that's a big fucking deal. That's a lot of fucking money.
I think Major League Baseball knows about it too, but they don't want to. He's one of their golden goose. You know.
Yeah.
Ohtani's a draw. Come up with this cockamamie. My interpreter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then, because is the interpreter in jail for stealing? For theft of millions of dollars?
We're talking about $4 million.
Bro, I noticed when $4 is missing.
Yeah. That's like Drake losses. That's like Bruno Mars lost money. That's a huge chunk of change, man.
Yeah.
That's not nothing.
So, I don't want to be the conspiracy theorist here, but
conspiracies.
Conspiracy theory with Jesse Ventura.
Let me tell you about some conspiracies.
Jet fuel can't melt steel.
Bush did 311. No, I don't know, man. And then again, but like, what does that say about Major League Baseball too? Like you guys, like, again, it's like, if you know Ohtani is, like, suppose Ohtani is the guy and they know he's gambling and they know he's the guy that fucking spent all that money and you're going to cover it up. You can't sit there with a straight face and then tell me that Pete Rose shouldn't be, absolved of his crimes and of his sins in that regard, right? Like, I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. They've given Pete Rose every chance to fucking...
That's true.
Come clean, and he's fucked it up each and every fucking time.
That's true. That is very true.
Most recently with the allegations, which I won't go into.
Right.
They've given him every opportunity to kind of make good and possibly put him in. And then he just goes and steps in a bucket of shit and fucks it all up, It's
crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah. I'm curious though, after Ohtani is done, or if it gets worse, like somebody who's got a gambling addiction and loses is $4 million in the hole. I mean, that's not something you just walk away from. That's serious. Like, that's a serious addiction level that you need to address. And like, I'm not making any assumptions on anybody, and I'm not like shaming anybody, because everybody's got their own demons, and there's help available for people for that. But it's just like, it's going to happen again. And what are you going to do then? You're going to blame your interpreter again? Like, it's not, I don't know. I just, $4 million is a lot of fucking money.
Like I said, I
noticed money.
I noticed when there's $4 missing from my wallet, and just, I can't imagine that being gone. So but Ohtani's still playing. So I have to tip of the cap, say he's had the better career, or better gambling career.
Yeah. All right. What's the next question here for Blue Meanie today? RJ Krasinski. What's up, RJ? We appreciate you being a part of the show each and every week. Don't forget to check out Reffing It Up. Recently on Foundation Radio too. I just had Jimmy Corderas on the show, so go ahead and check that out. If ECW in its original incarnation were to come back tomorrow, taking Paul Heyman out of the equation, who do you think would run the promotion? Who do you think would be some of the writers, and who would be the face of your company?
It's hard to imagine ECW without Paul.
Yeah.
And anybody else I could say the replacement would probably be like his proteges, like a Gabe Sapolsky, or because Gabe and Paul were pretty tight.
Yeah.
Anyone past or present, that's hard, because who would be okay with that level of violence. Even though, we barred a lot from Memphis. ECW barred a lot from Memphis, a lot from Puerto Rico, barred a lot from Japan, with the deathmatch stuff that was, becoming popular at the time. So I'm going to say that's hard to take Paul out of that equation because, Paul was kind of the reason why people heard of ECW, and built it up. It's credit to Tyler Gordon for creating ECW. But, just the creativity and having your hand on the pulse of pop culture and society and being Paul was ahead of everybody when it came to the use of the word extreme.
Yeah.
You change ECW to Extreme Championship Wrestling, and then there's, right guard extreme and extreme sports and extreme this and extreme that. Paul was way ahead of that. So,
yeah.
Just as much as I don't think ECW could happen in any other, could have been successful in any other city but Philly.
Yep.
I can't envision anybody running Paul just because of allowing ECW to do what it had to do.
Yeah.
Because if I would have put in there who was a little bit more of a traditionalist, which there's nothing wrong with traditionalists, they might not have done some of the stuff Paul did, and they might not have been Paul was pretty patient too.
Yeah.
Especially with guys like me who made a lot of mistakes, and developing people. So I hate copping out and saying I don't know, but I honestly really don't know. I really can't think of anybody who would have ran ECW and made it what we know it to be. But just because it wouldn't have been ECW, it would have been ECW name, but it wouldn't have had its moments like it did,
Our next question here is from Greg Alker, who definitely made out with a mannequin once. Is there anyone you feel like you owe a receipt to?
Is there anyone I owe a receipt to? Hey, you know what? I'm going to say it. It's going to be controversial. And it might make some of the clickbait sites.
Get your tapes ready, friends.
Let me get closer to the computer. Because I want to look the person in the eye as I say his name. The person I owe a receipt to is The Rock.
For real?
I'm calling you out, Rock. And you know why? You know what you did. You know what you did to me, Rock. You know that. You know what you did. You, Rock, crop dusted me in 1999 in catering. You ruined my lunch.
Oh my God.
I believe it was No Mercy.
Really?
99. Or that show in Cleveland where they had the good housekeeping match between Jarrett and China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rock, so wait, television's Rock the Dwayne Johnson crop dusted you.
Crop dusted me.
No shit.
I'm in catering. I'm a young guy.
Wow.
Having my lunch. And I'm sitting there and I'm just sitting and, enjoying my food. When all of a sudden I get a little whiff. I go, look to my left, look to my right, and then there's The Rock sitting there going, and he let out a fart, and he was just like staring at me, waiting for me to acknowledge said fart. no mercy. He showed no mercy on my sense of olfactory in 1999 in Cleveland. As I mean, don't get me wrong, I didn't stop eating.
Right. It's catering. Yeah, I would be there too.
Oh, it's WWE catering. They got
so fucking good. Yeah.
best good booked catering and best unbooked catering. I've had plenty of unbooked catering WWE, but you know what you did, Rock. You know what you did.
I'm very disappointed in you right now. This was probably Meanie at the time.
I can't remember what regular air smells like.
And
it's exactly like I was. You know, I smelled what the Rock was cooking, eating, and digesting all at the same time.
Calling you out, Dwayne.
Calling you out, Dwayne.
Calling you out, brother.
Shit on my dinner.
Final boss. It almost was the final fart we ever smelled.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, we welcome you because I know you listen, Dwayne, sir. Stop by the program and let us know. An apology, I think, is in order.
Yeah.
An apology is in order, I would say.
Yes, sir.
So we're waiting on you, Dwayne.
Your movement.
It was almost this bowel movement.
Yeah. Your movement, Dwayne.
Oh, my God. All right, our next question is from Machete Von Kill Pod Squad. Remember Machete? I need to know Meanie's thoughts on Jordan Grace and Ethan Page debuting on NXT.
Awesome. First of all, awesome. You know, I love what WWE's doing with the cross promotion and allowing people to come over from TNA. And as apparently it's supposed to, you know, there might be WWE or NXT talent making their way over to TNA for an appearance. But I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. And very happy to see Ethan Page on NXT. Very underutilized talent. You know, I mean, he was with AEW.
Yeah.
I mean, he was definitely under contract to AEW. Just you wouldn't know it, which is a shame. Good looking dude, jacked. Look, he looked great. I mean, he was always in good condition, but like he had that build of, yeah, I'm going to WWE jacked kind of thing. You know, he looked great. But yeah, back to the TNA thing. I love that, you know, WWE's, you know, working with TNA. It seems like only the Knockouts division for now. But I mean, I would love to see Moose come over for a match.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or see, you know, maybe have a dream match, you know, or have the TNA, you know, world champion team with the NXT champion or WWE champion or whatever.
Yeah.
But also it makes me ponder that, you know, it makes me want, you know, because I'm reading, you know, TNA's, you know, I don't know if you want to say having troubles, but, you know, their staffers are no longer there or being let go, whether they say it's mutual or not, I don't know. But it makes you wonder if, you know, WWE's possibly positioning themselves to maybe buy TNA. And I'm not trying to start a rumor, but it's a weird coincidence, you know, Scott D'Amore wants to buy the company. Then Scott's no longer there.
Right.
And then there's people behind the scenes that are no longer there. And they're doing this cross and, you know, WWE loves acquiring libraries.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the roster in WWE has, you know, worked for TNA. And,
yeah,
you know, you think of all the documentaries that WWE does and they're licensing footage from TNA. If TNA's, you know, Anthem, the parent company of TNA, is deciding, you know what, you know, this wrestling thing isn't working out. Why don't we sell while it's good, you know, while the going's good? I can see, maybe WWE acquiring TNA for the library and for having another promotion for, the talent that, talent they're not using. They can either go to NXT or TNA and still, stay sharp in the ring. Yep. Still have, something to do, so to speak, But, I love when promotions work like that together. I love when it's acknowledged.
Yep.
It was much more prevalent back in the day, 80, and, in the 80s and stuff like that, every now and then an NWA world title would be defended on a Madison Square Garden show, or you would see NWA at an AWA show, or, then there's, Pro Wrestling USA, which was all the promotions getting together for a short time there. But yeah, I like that. I like that, it's another positive sign of, Triple H's regime, and, not being afraid to acknowledge on other companies and work with other companies. And if they don't buy TNA, they're at least giving them a rub,
right,
so to speak, and
helping them maybe position themselves to be actual competition, right? It reminds me a lot of. It reminds me of the ECW days with WWE in that regard, where it's like the enemy of my enemy is my friend, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of the feeling I get from this. Obviously, it's not. I don't think it's as extensive as of yet. I've kind of long had that suspicion that potentially TNA was going to be sold to WWE. It makes the most sense because you see a lot of that footage, like the Victory Road from 2011. When they did the documentary about Jeff Hardy, all that footage was there, and I remember watching, being like, "Holy shit! I can't believe they're using this." This is very surprising. AJ Styles' entire career before he came to WWE was in TNA. And I think a lot of people, there's just like all wrestling, there's not a ton, there are some not great things, but there was a period of time where it was kind of popping, man. There was, Samoa Joe's early career, and there's a lot of good shit on that platform.
Yeah.
My bold prediction though, and I don't know when it's going to be. I can't remember. It's Battlegrounds in Las Vegas coming up for NXT. But my bold prediction, Blue, is that Jordan Grace is going to win that NXT Women's title.
That would be spectacular.
Could you fucking imagine?
To be the first person to hold a TNA and WWE branded belt. That would be awesome.
I mean, the cross promotion.
I'm here for it. WWE did the same thing for ECW.
Yeah.
Whether it was sending, Furnace LaFawn down to work, or send Al Snow down to work. We had draws for a little bit, have Jerry Lawler and Jim Cornette pop up on. Well, Cornette he was still with WWE.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, man, that was my favorite fucking thing. I remember just shitting myself watching that when I was a kid, when I was younger, man. I was like, oh my God.
That building fucking rocked. It was crazy when Lawler showed up, but then Lawler and Cornette.
God.
And that's when I see shit today where, guys say, I won't work with this guy. Jim Cornette worked with Paul Heyman.
Right.
And if Jim Cornette can work with Paul Heyman in the 90s when they had the most beef with each other.
Yeah.
Anybody can work with anybody.
Yeah.
It's a business. You got to do money. And, make money, do business, so to speak.
And there's a lot of recent money deals left on the table because of big egos, but all ego Ethan Page, I'm excited to see him and his work with WWE. They almost let it slip on the show. I can't remember the announcer's name. I apologize. I'm a terrible wrestling fan, but the gentleman who does the announcing on NXT with Booker T, he sees the internet. He says, "That's all ego, Ethan Page. Wasn't he in A?" And Booker T goes, "Whoa," and he cuts him off. So they're tiptoeing that line, but I think it's the right move. There's a lot of things that Papa H has been doing that I really enjoy. The acknowledgement of, the Japanese careers of a lot of these guys, right? The acknowledgement of even like during the WrestleMania 40 main event, they're showing photos of Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, and they're acknowledging the fact that Cody Rhodes like created an entire company, right? Like that's that's dope. Like I love that shit. One thing I would like to see though, if they do end up acquiring TNA, I want to see them keep it its own brand. Like I don't really want, like obviously you can do things like what they're doing now, but I think the potential to keep that roster as it is and keep the show and the functions of what they do in TNA, I think that's because, the sins of the WCW purchase, right? That would be detrimental to a lot of talent on that roster. Yeah. And I think it makes a ton of sense to leave it as is. What do you think?
Well, one of the reasons why the WCW purchase wasn't a success is you couldn't purchase the contracts of, Diamond Dallas Page and, all the other talents who were under real, pretty sweet Time Warner contracts that were just going, Kevin Nash said, I'm going to sell my couch and make $1 million, drink a beer,
Yeah.
How do you compete with that? Now, if you buy TNA, all the names are there and you can absorb all those names.
Yeah.
In those contracts, and you would still have the roster of TNA, and you can have AJ, go over, make an appearance there, or for old time's sake, But I think a purchase of TNA or acquiring a TNA, whatever you want to call it, wouldn't be as bad as WCW because, like I said, with the WCW purchase, you couldn't get all the megastars that made WCW what it was. And that's not a slight at the guys that they did bring over. It's just
the reality.
And the fans wanted to see DDP. The fans wanted to see the NWO and all this other stuff. So if they purchase TNA, guys like Moose are there, and it's got to be weird for Nick Nemeth.
I'm sure he'd be like, "What the fuck, man? I just left." Yeah, but it'll be interesting. It'd be good for business. Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. I do hope that Jordan Grace wins that fucking title because that would just talk about game changing, man. Talk about setting the tone and tenor for the rest of the year. That would be, and then imagine she fucking defends it at SummerSlam. Like, what the fuck, man? That would be something.
It's good. When everybody works together, everybody benefits.
Yep. Mike Jr. wants to know, what's the one celebrity you've met that's made you starstruck?
Ooh. Well, like I said, Nicolas Cage was kind of a big deal. I met Gene Hackman.
Really?
Yeah, that was, living in Atlantic. Well, I would say John Bon Jovi, but I just told that story too. John. But that same weekend, the same weekend, I was at the Holyfield Foreman fight in Atlantic City, and the night of the fight, I went up and met a bunch of folks. Met John Bon Jovi, met Luke from Two Live Crew, met Bruce Smith from the Buffalo Bills.
Wow.
And then the next day, I was like, let me go back up and walk around. I walked around the lobby where, I met John Bon Jovi. And fucking Gene Hackman and Mr. T were in the lobby.
Wow.
Checking out. And I took a photo with Gene Hackman, and he was super cool.
That's amazing.
And he was like, "Oh, thank you. Thanking me for taking." And then I took a photo with Mr. T. But I was like, I was more starstruck for Gene Hackman because I was totally not expecting to see him.
Yeah.
And hey, when are you ever going to run into Gene Hackman?
Honest to God, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. T could probably run into at events and stuff like that because like I said, it was a boxing event and stuff like that. But you see him and you're just like, oh,
wow, wow.
Oh well, that and Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah.
I bullshitted my way into meet and greet with Van Halen when ECW was doing Extreme Music, the CD. We had a really good relationship with Concrete Marketing. And this is like 98, 99, I want to say. Mm-hmm. And there's the tour when Gary Sharon was the singer. And I said to him, I had missed him in Philly at the Spectrum. No, oh shit. Well, then this was 97, 97-ish. So then I said, because I was in ECW, 97, I said, I talked to my buddy Jeff. I go, hey man, I want to go see Van Halen up in Montage Mountain. Guy, can you get me any tickets? He's like, oh, because he would get me tickets to concerts and stuff like that. He's like, I don't, but go to the will call and mention this name. He gave me the name, which I've forgotten. So he just walked up to me, hey, 2 tickets from so-and-so. And they're, I give him my ID. I'm on the list for Van Halen. They look and, who got you the tickets? And I dropped the name from so-and-so. They get on a walkie. They go, oh, okay, here you go. Give me 2 tickets, 2 meet and greets.
Wow.
So I go into the meet and greet and I get there just as it's ending and slap on my pass. And they give you this little one-time use disposable camera that's got this stripe, Eddie's stripes on it.
Oh my God. You know? That's cool.
Yeah. So, my turn. I go right up to Ed and put my arm around. I go, I love you, man. Thank you for everything. And he's I go, I love you, man. He goes, I love you too. You know, and
life's complete. I'm good.
Yeah. They take the photo. I turn around and give them the biggest fucking hug.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. And then I guess you're supposed to take a photo and leave. So I'm trying, I'm being a pro wrestler. I'm shaking hands on the way out. Like if I'm at the Indies.
Like you're running for president.
Right, stop. I was holding on up the line, but I genuinely was like, oh, I love you, man. I love you. Thank you for everything.
I love you. Do you know John Bon Jovi?
It's still Van Halen to me, damn it.
It's got to be Van Halen. John Bon Jovi. I would love to see those pictures, man. If you're able to dig them out of the archives, I would love to see them.
I'll send you the Van Halen one.
Yeah. Our last question of the night comes from our friend Wet Hot Summer Juice. It's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. Primetime grape. We appreciate you, sir. If you knew you had to be stuck in an elevator or a car with someone who irritates you, what unholy concoction of food and beverages would you consume to stink up the joint for a disastrous amount of time?
Brother.
Oh my God.
Like if I knew tomorrow I was going to be in the vicinity of whoever.
Yeah.
And I was going to torture them with my cheeks.
Betwixt the cheeks.
The night before, my dinner would consist of the following: ham, cabbage, those little things that look like cabbages, the tiny
the Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts.
Yep.
I would wash it down with a case of PBR.
There you go. Attaboy.
And then the next day I would get in said elevator with the person. And if they're, back against the wall, I would walk towards the, as we're going in between floors, little tricky do. I don't suggest anybody does this. Please don't do this. I've done this and I'm an idiot. Don't do this. But you walk, when the elevator's going up in between floors, you walk up, you put your fingers in between the doors and you go like that and it stops the elevator.
Oh man.
And you totally stop. And that's when I would go and I would do a little,
I can't remember what regular
and I would look
was like.
that person in the eye. They're like, you know what you did.
You hear that, Dwayne?
You hear that, Dwayne? You know what you did.
We know what you did, Dwayne. We know. Come clean. $7. How about 7 farts? Final boss. Final boss.
I let out 7 fucks.
Yeah, right.
Fuck.
Oh, that protein fart, man. Good Lord.
That's what it was.
Oh, good. Ay caramba.
If there was an Amazon back then, I would have went on Amazon and bought new nostrils. Just The Rock destroyed my fucking nostrils.
God, dude. I'm
you know what you did, Dwayne.
I'm glad there was no open flames around Rock the Dwayne Johnson's butt cheeks. That could have been bad.
I mean, there was pyro in the house. I mean,
Jesus.
Catering was kind of near the entrance, but
God. Well,
you know what you did, Rock.
Dwayne, we're waiting on you, pal. You know what to do. Make this right, man. Make this
Apologize.
good. Make this right, Dwayne. Final boss, more like fart boss.
Yeah.
But well,
fart boss on TLC. This week on Fart Boss,
Johnny Knoxville and Johnny Knoxville, Rock the Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
Team up. Well, speaking of team up, I think we're a great fucking team, Meanie, and I appreciate you, sir, for being here every week and answering our questions for the listeners and the pod squad. Don't forget, if you have questions, every week we do a segment at the end of the show called Ask Meanie, and you can hear your questions asked on the show. Don't forget to tweet them at us, send them to us via email or comment on the YouTube videos and use the hashtag AskMeanie, and you may hear it on the show. So, Meanie, I want to thank you for doing this program each and every week, sir. Where can everyone keep up to date with all things blue when they're not listening to us on the program?
If you would like to follow the Blue Meanie on all forms of social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Blue Meanie BWO on all forms of social media. To support the Blue Meanie, go to prowrestlingtees.com/Blue Meanie. If you want to support Mind of the Meanie, go to prowrestlingtees.com/Mind of the Meanie. Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand, go to collarandelbowbrand.com. Use coupon code Meanie or use coupon code MIND. Save for 10% over there at collarandelbowbrand.com. If you're in the Philadelphia area and you need t-shirts, go to JPT's for your t-shirt printing needs. JPT's is a family-owned business that's been making quality printed shirts since 1986. Anytime I get t-shirts, I go to JPT's, whether it's shows or conventions. For more information, go to jpts.com. That's the letter J, the letter P, TEES.com. Shout out to madcatbeardcare.com. Get the Blue Spruce Beard Oil and Balm. Josh Thornton's doing an amazing job rounding up all the feral cats in this neighborhood, takes them to the vent, and releases them back into the wild feeling better than he found them. So if you're a cat lover like myself, go to madcatbeardcare.com. Get the Blue Spruce Beard Oil and Balm. The Ultra Pro Wrestling video game coming to all major consoles 2024. They have a demo coming out third quarter 2024 for Steam. Ultra Pro Wrestling contains not only real world wrestlers, but also original wrestlers created by the amazing Hal Haney. But if you want more information, let me start that over. That sucked.
That's all right, man. You're good.
You do things 1,000 times and then the 1,001th time. The Ultra Pro Wrestling video game coming to all major consoles in 2024. The Ultra Pro Wrestling contains not only original characters by the amazing Hal Haney, but many real-world wrestlers, including myself and others I'm trying not to spoil. They just recently announced Sabu.
Ooh.
I'm free to speak freely about Sabu, but for more information, go to ultraprowrestling.com or follow them on Twitter at UPW Video Game. The figure collections Bone Crushing Wrestlers Series 1 variants of the Blue Meanie are available now. All Series 1s can be ordered now at shop.figurecollections.com. That's shop.figurecollections.com. Type Blue Meanie in the search bar. You can get the original Blue Meanie or BWO Blue Meanie. Either way, there is no wrong choice. To have the Blue Meanie on your podcast, go to podstars.net. That's PODSTARZ.net. Register your podcast. Book the Blue Guy. Let's talk over there at podstars.net. Cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO for birthdays, holidays, and well wishes. Please book through the site, not through the app. The app takes way too much money for all the people who are on Cameo. It takes way too much money. So if you want to make somebody, join me over there at cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO. Let's make somebody's day a little bit brighter over at cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO. But most importantly, Mr. Barnard, where can we find you, sir?
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Threads at This Is Goober. Yes, it's my handle. No, I'm not changing it. It's a brand, pal. You can find me there. You can also go to foundationradio.net and also go to youtube.com/@foundationradiopod to watch all the archive. Also, my Jimmy Corderas interview is up and available now. Shout out to the homies at the 10th Ward Barbershop in downtown Lawrenceville in the outskirts of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Go ahead and check out Kane, Jordan, and the rest of the team over there at 10thwardbarbershop.com. ProWrestlingTees.com/Foundation Radio. ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. Pick up a shirt and keep the lights on at Casa DeMeanie and the Barnard Home for Wayward and Troubled Youth. Patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Sign up today. Tiers starting at only $10. Meanie, I want to thank you, sir. I want to thank the Pod Squad for being here as well. We appreciate you. And we will see you again next week for the Blue Meanie. I am Adam Barnard. Join us again each and every week as we take a trip through the mind of the Meanie. Peace.
This episode of Mind of the Meanie is hosted and executively produced by the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard. It was mixed and engineered by Carl Pinnell. Additional narration is provided by the executive voice, Sam Krebs. That's me. Our intro music was performed by the Swamp Candles. Our outro music was performed by Chikara. Additional musical accompaniment is performed by Enrichment. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, or X or whatever, at Mind of the Meanie, and become part of the Pod Squad by going to patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Find our entire show archive at mindofthemeanie.com. This has been a Butts Carlton media production. Butts Carlton, proprietor.
Blue World Order. That was Blue Meanie's brain out.